The air shifts in September. There's something about this month that feels like crisp air, cozy sweaters, and fresh notebooks waiting to be filled. It's the season of change. Leaves turning, pumpkin spice everything, rainstorms rolling in, and cozy afternoons with a hot drink in hand. Even though I grew up in California where the leaves didn't really change, and currently where I live in Vegas, the sun is still aggressively 100 degrees, in my mind, September has always looked like this. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. This video is a monthly check-in and planning guide for September. And it's also a community update and something in between a vlog and something hopefully helpful for you. My hope is that this time gives us a chance to reflect on the month and also look forward to the following month. Sort of like what the theme of this channel has evolved into. With that said, I would love it if you would share what your goals are as we get through this video so that next month I can share them on screen. So make sure you leave them in the comments. Okay, let's dive right in. One of the biggest highlights for me in August was coming back to dance again. On the surface, it just looks like dance, but underneath there has been so much gunk that I've gone through. Let me explain. Over the years, I've come up with 100 different ways to explain why I stopped, but the one that lands the hardest is that my home stopped feeling like a home. See, dance was my entire life. It was breath, it was expression, it was comfort, but with it came trauma and heaviness and that constant feeling of never being enough. On one hand, dance gave me life. On the other, it was the very thing that hurt me the most. My home stopped feeling safe. My YouTube career came fast and out of nowhere, and it gave me a way out, and for 10 years I ran. Eventually, slowly, I healed, and I built something new. It's been 10 years, but this month, dance called me back. And it feels different now. I'm not chasing auditions, I'm not performing for approval, I'm moving with no strings attached just because I want to. It's like my brain has rewired itself. The spiral of doubt is quiet, replaced by warmth, by encouragement, by gratitude. Gratitude that my body still works. Gratitude that I can move and that I can still tell a story. It might seem simple, just steps, just gestures, but for me, it is everything. My home is becoming a home again. And in retrospect, one of the biggest blockers for me in dance and in life is embarrassment. It can keep us so locked up. The embarrassment of trying and failing, of wanting something so bad and not getting it, the embarrassment of not being good enough. But over time, so much has shifted. I have done the work, and it's not perfect, but I've grown. And that growth reminds me so much of what so many of you shared this month. Star Plus Gold said, I used to be embarrassed about coming out, but as I approach my late 20s, I am proud of myself, which is so beautiful. It is literally reframing what we've been told to be embarrassed about, rewriting the words that linger in our minds and letting a completely different voice run the show for once. Rio T shared, I used to be embarrassed to be knowledgeable and even to wear my hair up and show my ears. Now I embrace the uniqueness of my body, and yes, like shrinking who you are to fit into the boxes surrounding you is such a real feeling. And at the same time, it is so human. I mean, like, we need to be accepted into our tribes and our circles. Like, our brains literally see that as survival, that if we're not accepted, we're not going to survive. But the very things that we hide can also become the things that we celebrate. Akuna Michi reminded me of something so important. I had to learn when to swallow my pride and ask or accept help. I know this one all too well. You're looking at a very proud warrior archetype in me. Asking for help feels embarrassing. Like, it can feel like you're revealing that you're inadequate, that something's wrong, that you're not ready for battle, that you can't take it. And surely you don't want to be the one that outs you. So you stuff it down and you just let it stay quiet. But I have learned slowly over time that asking for help and opening up is one of the most courageous things we can do. Dream Guys also said, it's a long process intertwined with every other journey. There's always something to learn and heal, but it's important to still experience everything to the fullest. That is just no notes. And I loved what J.R. Ruto said. Not being understood is one of the sources of my anxiety. I never thought about letting go of the pressure to be understood. That one gives me chills because embarrassment at the end of the day is so closely intertwined with the fear of being misunderstood. And when we can let that go, when we stop trying so hard to manage how others see us, how they judge us, that is when connection starts. That's when authenticity has room to actually take a breath and breathe. And honestly, the older I get, the less power embarrassment has over me. When I was younger, it was like over-encompassing. Like it felt like it could just smother me and drown me. But now it just does not hit the same. That shift has been everything. Going back to dancing, while my body doesn't have the same technique or facility it once did when I was younger, what I do now have is like soul. I have stopped worrying about showing off what I can do and how many turns I can do and how flexible I am and showing like all the things that is like equivalency to like quantity. And now it's more about like showing the depth of movement and showing off the quality. And I think it applies beyond dance. I think it's about letting go of proving and embracing instead what you're already doing is fully enough. I see that Town commented about therapy and the pressure of thinking you should have unlearned certain things by now. That feels so real. And Garbigli, hi Garbigli, you said that you have been feeling this as you approach 40. Let me tell you, when I hit 40, something earth-shattering shifted. I realized I have come way too far in life to feel like I'm gonna get in trouble or like I have to meet everyone's expectations. I am not a child anymore, so I have to let go of the parts of me that I still treat myself like one. My buddy Rod Kim said in his comment, 40s are the best because we're too tired to give a fuck. That's the energy I'm bringing into September, honestly. Speaking of, if you want to hear about the August updates, except only the unhinged parts, like the group chat of zero support I get from my supposed best friends Joven, Lasercorn, and Sohinki, then join us in the tavern, where the stories are much less meaningful and a lot more chaotic. I don't know if that's your jam, but if it is, I'll see you in the tavern. When I think about September, the word that keeps coming up for me is presence. Specifically being present with change. Because like I'm changing a lot, like consistently. And I see that growth within myself right now. But with that comes a little voice in my head that tries to cast doubt. Oh, you're changing again. Okay, cool. Oh, is this like another phase? Why do we keep changing? I don't understand. Why can't we just stay the same? Wow, it's like I don't even know you anymore. That little gremlin loves to put a little fear in me like change is gonna be detrimental. Important to remember that this is a brain response that we all have for survival. Change is scary for the brain. The brain literally says, hey, we're alive. The saber-toothed tiger didn't eat us yesterday. No need to change things up. I don't like change. Just chill out. What that voice doesn't know is that it is a little shit starter. And honestly, like I used to fight her, you know? That little voice. I used to kick her ass a bit, tell her to shut up and go away. But these days, the approach is different and it's better. I literally imagine taking that gremlin's hand and I invite her into a fluttery linen tent like we're at a yoga retreat. And there's a bunch of other folks sitting in a circle, and I invite her to sit with me. I give her a little hug, a little blanket, a little cozy treat, maybe a little gremlin coffee, and I say, hey, you know what? You've been working all day. You can relax. And I imagine that gremlin looks around apprehensively, sees the other folks in the room, and then for a moment, finally takes a moment to exhale for what feels like the first time in months. And then I find myself centered again. That is my intention for September. Not to resist the changes or the doubts that come with them, but to be present with them, to meet them with compassion and warmth. I'm hugging the shit out of that little shit starter gremlin. One of you, Anna B. 2000, shared a beautiful quote from John Green's book that really feels perfect for this month. Said, you can't see the future coming, not the terrors for sure, but you can't also see the wonders that are coming, the moments of light-soaked joy that await each of us. I love that so much. For you watching, I want to leave some options open. On screen, you'll see a few other theme words for September: present, brave, intentional, calm, rooted, soft. Maybe being present speaks to you as well, like it does for me, but perhaps one of those other words tug at you instead. Or maybe you have a word of your own. My hope is that you set an intention that feels true to where you're at right now. And if you want to share it in the comments, I would love to read it, because setting intentions together always feels a lot more powerful than doing it alone. Part of being present isn't just about what's happening inside of us. It's also about noticing the world we're living in. And I know there is so much going on in the world around us, physically and also with navigating the online world that is less tangible, right? Social media, apps, message boards, filming every moment of our lives, and figuring out what to do with the feeling that we're living a large part of our lives on display. It's weird. It's so easy to get wrapped up in the chaos that is the digital and online world. Like, what even is this thing that we can't touch and feel? It's like happening so fast, and yet we're on it every day, right? Like this exchange is happening on YouTube. So yeah, obviously I've been thinking about it a lot, and I know I'm not alone in feeling that push and pull. Esther Julie, who's a friend of mine, commented about struggling with posting constantly and that love-hate that comes with social media. She wrote, it's confusing when it can be so inspiring yet so discouraging at the same time. And yeah, like I feel that so deeply, because showing up online can be both. It can be empowering and also this cage at the same time. Berto, who's also a friend of mine, put it beautifully. My motto right now is, what's important now? What's important that I want to do, not what's expected of me? And that is such a grounding question. Like, at the end of the day, it's not about proving anything to the algorithm or to strangers on the internet, or even like just what the internet is all about, right? Like, it's about our health. Life is about our relationships and being present in the lives that we're actually living. This is another friend of mine, Alyssa Danielles, that made me smile with this comment. I stopped believing I had to have a 12-step skincare routine to be truly taking care of myself. Less is more. 3 products is a lot more sustainable for me. I mean, that's it, right? Like, whether it is self-care or social media or like work, there's this pressure to perform, to have the perfect routine, the perfect persona, whatever it is. But like, real self-care is often so much more simpler than what something should be. You know, those shoulds are put upon us by external forces, and what could be comes from like ourselves. Something that stuck with me this week is a dance teacher saying, fuck the shoulds. And like, truly, yes. Someone else, I can't remember if it was from a show or a person, but I remember somebody saying, should is just could with shame involved. And between those two, I don't know. I think I'm letting go of the shoulds a little bit more. The reason why I wanted to start making these monthly resets is reading your feedback and hearing how the conversations on IG and the videos made here land with you. It honestly feels like, I don't know, we're building this together. And that means everything to me. CS Paffy left a comment that really touched me. Thanks, Mari. Always you coming out with just the right video at just the right time. And that's exactly what I hope these videos create. A little pause in your day to reflect on where you are, where you've been, and where you want to go. And the LTDB27, maybe that's Lieutenant DB27, said, I didn't realize I needed to hear any of these things until I heard you say them. I've been feeling sort of at sea myself, and hearing you speak about finding your center and your passion again is so helpful. Oof, I mean, that means so much to me because part of my intention in making these is to remind you that you are not alone in that feeling. I think there's parts of me that felt like I wanted to hear those things when I felt at sea, like you beautifully said. But I wasn't ready to listen to them all the time. But it was helpful to just hear it, you know? Like, I think when we want to help ourselves, it has to come from ourselves. And hearing it from the outside may not do anything to move the needle, but sometimes the moment when you are ready, all those words start flooding back again, and all those nuggets of information that you stored in the back of your mind come to, and you're like, okay, now I'm ready to listen. All right, what was that person saying? What do they mean? And that is when real growth happens. So I'm happy that I could be a voice shouting into the ether for you. And for all of you who came through on the Survivor video, I saw your comments too. I cannot even tell you how much it means to see that level of support for me in your reflections and just all of your comments. I'll tease it here. The next What I Learned on Survivor video will be dropping just in time for season 49. But in the meantime, I'm gonna drop another What I Learned in the series, and you will never guess what it'll be about. Or maybe you can guess. Try to guess. I don't know. I dare you. Honestly, the What I Learned series is so close to my heart, and I'm excited to keep sharing more with you. As we close out, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is one intention or theme you're holding on to this month? Share it if you want to, because I promise someone else will see it and feel a little less alone in their journey as well. Okay. That's it. That was our reset. Let me know how it was, how it went for you, what you liked, what you didn't, what you want to see more of, all those things. Obviously, I'm reading your comments. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you again for being here. I'm rooting for you. Happy September, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.